Hello my fellow Tamrielites, welcome to the channel or welcome back. Update 44 will drop on October 28th for PC Mac and November 13th on console, and this video will show you all the rewards coming with the patch. One disclaimer before we jump in: while I confirm everything I can, all this information comes from the PTS, which means details might change before the patch goes live. I intend for these videos to be encyclopedic resources, but if you are living in the future and it's 2025 or later, I recommend you confirm drop sources before grinding. With all that said, let's dive into the new rewards. I'll start by mentioning that there will be a lot of changes coming to the Battlegrounds, including the addition of two-sided Battlegrounds, new maps, and changes to the leaderboard system. However, I stick to covering rewards in these videos, so I won't be going into those changes. Changes are also being made to the reward tier systems as well, and those we are covering. First up, the rewards for daily quests have changed. For 1, 2, or 3 wins, you'll receive either a green, blue, or purple reward bag, respectively. The reward bags received in the mail after Battleground matches are also being updated. 3 different bags are possible based on whether it was a win on a competitive battleground, a standard win, or a loss. The patch notes also say that style pages awarded by Battleground mailers are limited to 1 per day, but that's separate from the daily quest and the other sources that award style pages. They also note that the chance of obtaining Chef Arquitius's Lost Thesis have increased slightly, but it's still a rare drop. Leaderboard rewards have also increased. The distribution of old and new gear sets will be changing with Update 44. There's a flowchart involved, so rather than explain it, I'll put the patch notes up on the screen for you to screen cap or pause and read. For those of you who are scanning it, I'll take a couple of extra seconds to do my channel promotion and mention that the algorithm really likes to be petted constantly, so if you could click one of its buttons or tickle it in the comments section, I would appreciate it. As to what new gear will be dropping, we've got 3 sets for the Battlegrounds and 3 sets for Cyrodiil, 1 heavy, medium, and light for each. The motifs are already available, so there's no need to do the 360 display as usual. Instead, I'll just put the stats up for each. For the Battlegrounds, we've got the Netchoil, Farstrider, and the Bulwark Ruination sets. For Cyrodiil, we have the Siegemaster's Focus, Shared Pain, and Tracker's Lash sets. Speaking of gear and how to get it, here's an exciting update. A lot of vendors and currencies will be changing with Update 44, including the key fragments that drop in the Imperial City. All of the various fragments you've been carrying around will become Imperial fragments after the patch, and you won't need to use them to open doors anymore. Instead, you'll just walk straight into the vault, and once inside, instead of a random treasure chest, you'll find a new vendor who will take those Imperial fragments as currency. And then, are you sitting down? You can just buy the set you want. Cool, huh? One really important note though, the sets are spread out amongst the vaults, so do check everywhere. Additionally, the vendors in the Imperial City sewers have been updated. If you prefer PvP to the Infinite Archive, you'll be happy to hear that the Telvar Jewelry Merchant has changed into a rotating merchant like Filer Uhl in the Infinite Archive, and will stock leads, maps, and other goodies. On the PTS, Uhl and the Telvar Merchant have different stocks, so you'll want to check both to see everything available. Other adjustments will be made to the Imperial City Telvar vendors, such as the Telvar Equipment Lockbox Merchant becoming the Telvar Collectibles Merchant. I would recommend that you save your Telvar until the patch drops and plan on taking a close look around at the vendors before you spend any of your stash. A mount is being added as a PvP reward, the Imperial Warbear, and you can get it by purchasing and combining 3 fragments. Each fragment is for sale from a different vendor. 1 piece is from the Telvar Merchant for 100,000 Telvar, 1 piece from the Battlegrounds Supplies Merchant for 100,000 AP, and the 3rd piece comes from the Cyrodiil War Researcher vendor, also for 100,000 AP. Note that AP is the currency for both the Battlegrounds Merchant and the Cyrodiil Merchant, and you can earn AP either way. And here's what the mount looks like, although I forgot to film that initially and had to splice it back in, which seems like a real dork move. I should also mention that with Update 44, ESO subscribers will get a 10% increase to Alliance points from all sources and a 10% increase to Telvar drops. This will not affect leaderboard rank or rewards of the worthy progression. One of the other exciting changes to the vendors is that the Telvar General Merchant now sells furnishing items for Telvar, and I'm very happy about that, as both as a general concept and with the specific pieces. And that brings us to the end of the Battlegrounds and the Imperial City rewards updates I'll be covering, and gives us a nice seg into the next category of rewards, which is Furnishings. 7 of the 9 furnishing items being added to the Telvar Merchant are shown on the screen in this set. I'll have the other 2 in a moment. But look! Flowing lava under the grate. Also, I love this platform. Super cool pieces. I'm tickled to see more Imperial items being added in general, and these are great pieces in particular. The last 2 furnishing items for sale from the Telvar Merchant are 2 styles of large Imperial tents. Very nice pieces, particularly if you want to stage a battlefield command post. So those are the 9 new furnishings available in the Imperial City's sewers for Telvar. There will also be 24 new reward furnishings, that's the furnishings, not patterns, dropping from Battleground Reward containers after Update 44 goes live. Specifically, it's a set of 8 pieces for each Battleground team. That was, of course, the Fire Drake, or Orange group. Next up, we have the 3 carpets, 2 banners, shield, wreath, and mug for the Pit Demons, the Green team. And lastly, there's the same 8 pieces for the Stormlords, or Purple team. Again, all of these pieces will be dropping from Battleground reward bags. They cannot be crafted. I don't know if they will be bound, but if not, then they'll show up for sale on Guild Traders. And that's the last of the furnishings associated with PvP. Next up, we've got 10 new items available on the Home Goods vendor in Skingrad. We've got a couple of new Dawnwood trees that look like they want to strangle you in your sleep, and I'm tickled to see quarry blocks. I've never built a castle, but I'm guessing those big blocks would make a great keep wall. Looking forward to seeing what the community does with them. We'll wrap up the furnishings that can be purchased by taking a look at the 2 new items available from Companion Achievements. I'll talk more about the new companions later, but for now, here is the Empathic Portal Achievement furnishing you can buy after completing Tanloran's achievement, A Bloom on the Horizon. All of the companion achievements are structured similarly, and A Bloom on the Horizon is the meta achievement you get for completing all of Tanloran's other achievements. The first achievement is gained from getting them as a companion. The Favor achievement is gained by completing a series of actions with that companion. By the way, the actions listed in the Favors achievement are always ways that you can gain rapport with that companion, so it's a good idea to look over that achievement after you gain a companion for a handy list of what they like. The last 2 achievements are, of course, getting their level and rapport to maximum, respectively. Once you have done all that for Tanloran, you can purchase their achievement furnishing for 25,000 gold, and here is what it looks like. Not only is it a magical effect, which, yay, it has an activator that does this. Double yay. But I need to pace myself because the other companion's achievement furnishing is also cool. Zarethvar's quests take place in Reaper's March, and you can find his achievement furnishing on the Ralka Achievement Furnishings vendor. And my friends, it is the Sky Spirits Reflecting Pool. Love water features always. And this one, wait for it, lights on fire. This one, like Tanloran's, can be purchased for 25,000 gold after completing Zarethvar's meta achievement, which in his case is called the Twilight Path. It's the same set of 4 achievements as for Tanloran's meta achievement, gaining Zarethvar as a companion, completing all activities listed in his Favor achievement, and summoning him at max level and with max rapport. Update 44 will also be bringing us 57 new craftable recipes available from a variety of sources. We'll go through them source by source. 25 new Dawnwood and Bosmer-themed patterns will be dropping from monsters, containers, and other locations in the world. If you've watched more than one of my reward videos, you probably have worked out that I'm not a huge fan of Bosmer life, but I'm always happy to see more texture being added to the furnishings palette, and these are really interesting pieces. That little tree thing is a beehive, by the way, which is utterly charming, and the fire with the pot on it is also a nice piece. In our second group, we've got a bedroll with its own little light source, as well as a variety of containers. I really love the trees with the lanterns and crystals. They even turn on and off. I'm betting a lot of gardens out there will be reworked after these drop. The tree divider is also cool and will be useful as an indoor piece in planters as well. Additionally, 10 new Mine Tract themed recipes can be obtained from monsters, containers, and more across Tamriel. Why Mine Tracts, you might be asking? Allow me to take a moment and show a quick preview of a new house that will be coming sometime after Update 44. Again, this will not be in the October-November patch, but will be added later. As you can see, it's a dwarven structure and it includes a mine shaft. So in anticipation of the new dwarven house and mine that will be coming later, yes, we've got mine tracks coming in a variety of shapes and curvatures. The switches are a nice touch. We also have 4 new Lucent Crystal patterns coming with Update 44, and they will be dropping from Mirrormore incursions like the last set. I am a big fan of the themed items and recipes dropping from incursions like Bastion Nimic or the Firesong pieces from Volcanic Vents. We've got 3 defensive spikes and 2 new crystal clusters coming, which I always will welcome. I've already skinned the inside of one of my houses like it's a geode, but I'm sure I'll find something to do with these new ones. The next 16 furnishing patterns are exciting for a couple of reasons. First of all, they're the new Ayleid furnishings, which are fantastic. Secondly, these patterns are all available by excavating antiquities, but they are not antiquities themselves. You know how when you're excavating an antiquity, you can also uncover bonus items like gold or white gear? These furnishing patterns will be dropping as part of that bonus loot. Let me say again, you do not need leads for these pieces. They are bonus items you get while you are excavating antiquities. There are 2 conditions. First, you must be in one of 3 specific zones, either West Weald, the Gold Coast, or Blackwood. The patterns only drop in those 3 zones. Secondly, you must be excavating an antiquity that is intermediate level or higher, not a green one, blue, purple, or gold. I'm guessing that the chances are higher with higher level antiquities, but I don't know that for certain. To repeat, you can only get these patterns while excavating an antiquity in West Weald, the Gold Coast, or Blackwood that's blue quality or higher. If both of those things are true, then as bonus items come up, they might be white gear or one of these patterns. As I'm editing this, Update 44 will be out soon, so until then you'll want to save any leads you get in those zones so you have a chance at the patterns. I really love this idea. I noticed the new Ayleid furnishings in the ruins in West Weald, and I was wondering how they'd introduce them into the game with no Ayleids around to get them from. This is a fantastic idea, and I'm super happy we're getting the recipes and not the furnishings themselves. So much yay. All of these pieces are beautiful and super functional as building blocks as well. Returning to the Dwarven theme, the last new furnishing item is one new gold quality recipe that will drop from the Dismantler of the Dwarven Colossus world boss in Blackreach. I think it will drop from the boss itself and not the daily quest, but I can't say for certain. I killed him a few times and didn't get it, but it's going to be a rare recipe, so that doesn't mean anything. I wasn't able to get the daily quest associated with this boss, so I wasn't able to check that. The patch notes specify Dismantler of the Dwarven Colossus, though, and that is this guy, not the quest, so I think he drops it directly. Let me know in the comments if you get one. In any case, what is this new gold pattern, I hear you ask? I am delighted to say that it is a working musical instrument, a glass harmonica. These are a real thing, by the way. The tones are made by sliding your wet fingers over the rims of stacked glass bowls as they rotate. It's similar to making a tone from the rim of a wine glass, except that you've got a series of glass bowls sized to create a musical scale. They're fragile and hard to play, and it makes perfect sense that the masters of tonal magic would have a musical instrument like this. I will definitely be camping the Colossus boss once Update 44 drops. And that wraps up all of the information about new furnishings, which brings us to the new companions I promised to talk more about. Both companions will be available from the Crown Store. If you are an ESO subscriber, they will be free. If not, they will cost crowns, though I can't say how much. Once you've acquired either companion from the Crown Store, their associated quest goes into your journal, and you can then follow the quest prompts to get to that companion. Tenloren can be found in Oridon, just outside of Volkogard, and their quests are all based in this zone, which is why their achievement furnishing is sold by the Oridon Achievement Furnishings vendor. Tenloren is an Altmer who uses a combination of Soul Magic and the Dragon Knight class lines, and I hope that hair comes to the Crown Store. Tenloren and their gang are hoping to change Altmer society for the better, and I don't think it's a spoiler to say that, as a rule, Altmer society is not big on change as a concept. I went through the companion achievements earlier to describe how to get their respective achievement furnishings, which unlock after finishing their meta achievements, A Bloom on the Horizon and the Twilight Path. Finishing those achievements also unlocks the account upgrade for each companion. For Tenloren, that upgrade is the Garland Ring Humming Pick. This upgrade gives you bonuses to lock picking, which of course I'm thrilled about. If you are actually picking a lock, this upgrade gives you more time. If you are forcing the lock, it gives you a better chance to do so. I'm laughing because I haven't picked a lock in a long time. In either case, you have a lower chance of breaking the lockpick. Again, so much yay. Which brings us to Zareth Var, whose quests are based in Reaper's March. They said in the Twitch stream that Zareth Var was a Khajiit necromancer from another time, and I was so psyched. There's a quest in Northern Elsewhere about a group of psychopomp necromancer monks who redeem the souls of Dormatha, and it is one of my top 5 favorite quests in ESO. I immediately started hoping that he was one of those monks, and yes, he is! When you go to Reaper's March to start Zareth Var's quest, you won't find him right away, but instead will be thrown into the religious politics of the Khajiit, which instantly hooked me. One of the characters in that encounter will then send you to find Zareth Var. If you have not done the quest for the Hidden Moon Temple in Northern Elsewhere, I recommend you wait until Update 44 drops and then complete the quest with Zareth Var out as a companion, and talk to him as you complete each step and go through each location. He has all kinds of dialogue specific to that temple and quest. I won't say more because of spoilers, but it is so cool that they embedded the character into the world's backstory like this. I haven't completed his quest line myself yet, and I am very much looking forward to. Once you have completed Zareth Var's meta achievement, the Twilight Path, the account upgrade that unlocks is Jakka's Bell of Bounty, which makes heavy sacks glow. I don't have footage of it because I didn't want to finish his quest on the PTS, but that is just awesome icing on an already yummy cupcake. Except the cupcake is a necromancer? The metaphor falls apart pretty quick, but you get me. I didn't mention them in the furnishing sections, but as usual with the companions, both Tanloran and Zareth Var will become available as house guests after you have completed specific stages of their respective quest lines. Switching gears now, Update 44 will also be bringing us 4 new skill styles available in different ways. I'll show these 4 new skill styles in a split screen side by side with the default colors. From the Psijic Guild line, the skill Accelerate gets a new purple variant, which can be picked up for free by harvesting Psijic portals or by spending archival fortunes in the Infinite Archive if you don't want to compete for the portals. The Ultimate in the Psijic line also gets a purple variant, which is unlocked by completing the achievement Tracker of Temporal Tomes. Just like with our previous patch, this skill style comes from acquiring and consuming fragments from various public dungeon and group bosses in Tamriel. The achievement list is more explicit now and will tell you exactly where the fragments drop, so I won't bother reading them. The achievements are in the character section under the new subsection, Skill Styling. Our third new skill style affects the ability Puncture from the One Hand and Shield line. The skill style, as well as the fourth one, are different because they aren't just changing a color, but the whole visual effect of the ability. The Puncture skill style is called Lava Burst and creates a lava effect. It will look fantastic on Dragon Knight tanks. Lava Burst, like Undo, comes from gathering fragments from public dungeons and group dungeons. The fourth skill style gives us another variant for Force Shock. This one is a Wild Burned theme variant. It is the third and last of the skill styles acquired through fragment chases, and the list includes a couple of delves in West Weald as well as the Mauve Lorcage trial. If you don't have a trial guild, you'll probably want to jump into the group finder for the trial soon after the patch hits, while people are actively farming for the fragment. After the side-by-side skill styles have run, I'll put the related achievements on the screen in case you want to see where they are or take a look at the lists. And since I've got a few extra seconds on my hand, I'll mention that if you haven't subscribed, I would appreciate it. It really does help the algorithm know it's good content. Another thing the algorithm loves is when you watch all the way to the end, so thanks to all of you who listen all the way through. Sharing the video link on social media also helps, but that's the end of my seconds, so I'll talk more about that later. Next up, we have Scribing. We have a new grimoire coming out with Update 44, a support spell called Banner Bearer, which looks just like you'd expect. I'll put the grimoire on the screen so you can see its stats. You'll notice there is no duration, it toggles on and off. Also notice that the caster's resource recovery is decreased by 33% while it's active, even when the spell includes a resource recovery bonus for the rest of the group. I'll be very curious to see how this spell will affect trial groups, or if it will. The radius is not large, so it would only be truly effective in a case where the group is tightly stacked. We'll take a quick detour to the Scalarium's practice room so you can see the spell. The animation puts a Banner Bearer banner on the caster's back. You can also see the range of the spell quite clearly. Although this isn't a reward, strictly speaking, before we leave Scribing entirely, I'll mention that 14 different script options were added to previously available grimoires, so new combinations of spell effects can be made. Other tweaks will also be implemented. You might want to take a look at spells you've previously scribed after Update 44 drops to see what changes are available. And until it drops, you might want to hold off on scribing new spells and save your ink for when those additional options are available. Our last category of rewards from Update 44 are 2 outfit styles, or possibly just one. The first, which I'm sure will be available, is the Psijic Scion outfit style. Pages for this style will drop from Tales of Tribute reward bags. I'm showing this outfit style undyed as the natural colors are attractive and distinct enough to show which sections dye as a group. So this style is, obviously, in honor of the Psijic deck, and we've previously had a Pelin outfit style. I'm looking forward to seeing what pieces will be in the Crow and Hlalu styles when they eventually come out. The second outfit style available in the PTS that might or might not be coming out with Update 44 is the Legacy of the Draoife outfit style, which I've tried to say multiple times and I just slur it every time. So Draoife, whatever. I can't. I'm showing this dyed, by the way, as the native colors were a little more bland on the screen. The thing is, I can't figure out where this outfit style drops, and it may be part of an upcoming event or other promotion and not part of Update 44 per se. When I find out, I'll put a note in the description and or in the pinned comment, so if you're curious, check there. And yes, this does feel like a cop-out and a fail on my part. That's the end of the rewards for Update 44, but as usual there's a few other things to mention, including the upcoming edition of Golden Pursuits sometimes after Update 44 drops. Golden Pursuits are a new way of earning in-game rewards for playing the game, similar to Endeavors, except Golden Pursuits span multiple activities and are limited time promotions. When Golden Pursuits are available, you'll see an announcement for them in the announcement screen that comes up on login, and the Group Finder icon in your menu header bar will be gold. You can then go to the Golden Pursuits tab and see what activities will unlock the rewards. As you complete more and more of the Golden Pursuits during the time that the Golden Pursuits are active, more and more rewards will accumulate. I've heard some grumbling about Endeavors, but I love these kinds of reward systems. There's so much of the game that I love doing, and sometimes when I sit down to play, it's hard to even decide which direction to go. So I tend to use the Endeavors as prompts and look and see if there are any of the dailies or weeklies or something that I want to do. Sometimes the answer is no, and I blow them off, but usually it's like, yeah, killing world bosses sounds fun, I'll go do that, or running a heist or whatever. The Golden Pursuits will work much the same way, and at least on the PTS, the activities listed were not hard or inconvenient. So basically, more rewards for playing the game. What's not to love? While I'm wrapping up the various odds and ends, we'll take a quick look at the second player house on the PTS. This is the Grand Gallery of Tamriel, a now empty museum with loads of gallery space for paintings, antiquities, achievement furnishings, trophy heads, you name it. This house will not be available when Update 44 drops, but will be added to the game sometime in 2025. However, the miscellaneous notes are that with Update 44, drop rates will be increasing for mundane runes, heartwood, and decorative wax when harvesting crafting notes. I go through a lot of mundane runes, so I'm very happy to hear that this means I'll have more and the price will be going down. On the other hand, if you make a lot of bank from selling those, you might want to put your stock up for sale before the patch drops. My last bit of reward-oriented news is that the base game Overland quests and public dungeons have had a rewards balance and now include more item set pieces. And that, my fellow Tamrielites, are all the rewards and some of the changes coming with Update 44, which will drop on October 28th for PC Mac and November 13th for console. I mentioned before that social media shares are a great way to help the channel grow, so if you thought this video was useful, I'd really appreciate it if you would share the link with the hashtag ESO and tag Zos at the Elder Scrolls Online on Twitter, Facebook, Discord, or wherever you hang out. That's the best way to get the videos on the screens of other fans who will enjoy them. But as I also said, watching all the way to the end makes the algorithm very, very happy, so for those of you still listening, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate that you took time out of your day to spend with me. I look forward to having you back in my little corner of the internet soon, but until then, thanks for watching, and may all your loots be elite.